So much of our life is pulling us out of present moment. And that's actually creating a dysregulated nervous system. When we think about our ancestors, we talked about their nervous systems and how it's the same nervous system we have. We exist today because those people who are on our ancestral line were incredibly resilient. They lived in very hard times, but they were resilient. And what that means is their nervous systems could go from calm and peaceful to on alert and ready back to peaceful very easily. That's what resilient means. Not only could they act towards a danger, they could respond to pleasure appropriately. You hear all the time, like, regulate your nervous system. Nervous system has to be regulated. Your nervous system knows how to regulate. And regulated just means it goes, ooh, I should be activated. I should be calm. Something exciting is happening. Nothing is needed of me. It's time to sleep. It's just that flow up and down like waves in an ocean. That's a regulated nervous system. And it's important to know that as mammals, we co-regulate. So the state of my being right now is having an effect on you.
Definitely.
The state of your being is having an effect on me. A moment ago, when there was a technical difficulty, you very calmly said, hey, I think there's a problem. Can we do this? You weren't like, oh my God, we got to fix this, which would have made me go, okay, let's do that. I was able to stay very calm and connected to you because you were super calm and connected. So that's an example of co-regulation.
That topic comes up a lot actually with parenting, particularly more modern day parenting, where they talk about if your child gets hurt, don't go to extreme, craziness around it, but try to like model it's all going to be okay and use gentler language and expression.
Now, here's the interesting thing with that. You can only do that if that's in you. Because I could use really calm language with you, but you and I are both made of energy. Everything is energy. Everyone listening to this podcast, you are energy. And no matter how someone's voice sounds or what the words they're saying, you are feeling their energy. You are feeling their nervous system and you're going to respond to it. So you could have someone say all the right things. Your body goes, I don't trust them. I don't know why. You're picking up on energy. So as a parent, if you're overwhelmed, so we're kind of getting back now to being present. If you're overwhelmed and you're trying to be a good parent, but you got a deadline to meet, your money's in the stock market, it's going up and down and you have no control over it. And you've just had a car accident and your phone is pinging like crazy. You're already at overwhelm. Your nervous system is responding to each one of those things the way your ancestors would have responded to a lion in the bushes. Oh my God, I got to do that. I got to deal with that. I got to deal with that. I can deal with that. Now your kid falls and you're like, okay, be calm to them. Become, honey, you're okay. You're fine. It's all right. But really your nervous system wants to go, this is too much.
Oh, I'm sure so many people listening or watching this can identify right now. I know I can. So what do we do with that then?
We don't have to regulate our nervous systems. Our nervous systems know what to do beautifully. What our nervous system's looking for is, are you safe? Or am I safe? It's always looking for that. So the more you can consciously feel it in this moment, you are safe, the more you will interrupt that sympathetic drive. Just little interruptions. So you think of the way our nervous systems behave is based on our childhood, it's based on our ancestors, it's patterning that's been developed. We're not aware of it, but you think of it as like a superhighway in our brain and body of the way we respond to things. 95% of it is unconscious. So you don't have to be consciously aware of it. But if you can, throughout the day, notice that you're safe, you'll interrupt that superhighway. It's like putting a little tiny detour to safety, and you'll start changing your neural pathways over time.
So what are some ways that you can remind or make yourself feel safe?
Okay. One thing I teach my clients, I call it FAB. I'll take you through it now, and anyone listening, as long as you don't have to be doing something else, you can do it along with me. So right now, James, I want you to just feel your feet.
No matter where they are.
If they're on the ground, that's great. They don't have to be. Okay. Wherever they are, just feel them. Some people have trouble feeling their feet, so just wiggle your toes for a second. And now stop and just notice sensations in your feet. So you're not thinking about it, you're feeling. You might feel warm or tingly or numb or heavy. If they're on the floor, you might feel, oh, they're touching the floor. And now I want you to feel your ass. Your ass is in a chair. I want you to just feel your ass. And as you do, I want you to notice the support of the chair holding you. And I don't know if you even notice, like your breathing deepened a bit. Now I just want you to notice your next couple of exhales as you breathe. And with those exhales, just allow yourself to settle into that support that's right there. So I call that FAB. F is for feet. A is for ass.
I knew there had to be something for the ass because you don't normally say ass. Why is she saying ass right now?
B is for breath.
Okay.
Right. And so you're not doing a breathing routine. You're just noticing your next couple of exhales. And I started doing that with clients about 15 or so years ago, because when I would try to teach people to just be present, most people had a breathing technique they used. When I would get into what that gives them, some people say, well, sometimes it works, but sometimes I get really anxious. I don't think I'm doing it right. And I take a big breath and I don't feel any calmer. Well, when you're trying to override your breathing, there can be a bit of a performance aspect to it. Also, when you take a big breath, your heart rate naturally speeds up. So if you're already anxious and you're paying attention to an inhale and you notice your heart's beating faster, oh my God, I really am anxious. I better breathe deeper. Let's take a bigger breath. My heart's beating faster. But when you first start by feeling, I'm safe right now, I'm supported, you already became present. Like until I mentioned it, you might not even have noticed that you're sitting in a chair. You couldn't feel it. But when I got you to think about your ass, you could feel it. As soon as you brought your attention down and you became present that way, your breathing naturally slowed down and deepened. I could see it happen. Then I asked you to pay attention to your exhale, because when you exhale, your heart rate naturally slows down. If you were feeling anxious, then you had a moment of like, oh, I noticed my heart's slower than I thought.
Part of me, though, was immediately like, well, this is all well and good. But in the moment your child gets injured or falls or something, you're not necessarily going to take the time to do this before you react to your child. But then I realized, wait a second, FAB, so feet, ass, breath, you can do that instantaneous. I'm even imagining, let's say you go to kneel down to meet your child where they are. Let's just assume they're on the ground somewhere because they fell. Even in that process of going from upright to bending down, you could do that.
That's really good. Saying you can't use this in an emergency is actually accurate, because it'd be like saying, James, I'm going to teach you to swim. I'm going to throw you off a boat. I should have learned how to swim first.
So you got to do it before.
So I always tell my clients, the quality of your habits determines the quality of your life. And they'll say, well, no, it's the quality of my relationships. Yes, it's the quality of your habits within those relationships that determines the quality of those relationships, which determines the quality of your life. So our habits are always guiding us either towards the life we want and who we want to be, or away from it. And what's tricky is habits are habits because they're automatic. And your brain uses a lot of energy and it likes to be efficient. So it will turn anything into a habit to make it more efficient. When something's a habit, we don't think about what foot we step with first or how we put our pants on. It's just a habit, or where we start brushing our teeth. Your brain has made all of that automatic. You can consciously change your habits. So if you make FAB a habit and you do it every time you take a sip of water, before you check your phone, every time you sit down, if you're constantly doing it, if you do it dozens of times a day, that's dozens of times you've interrupted that pattern of stress in your nervous system, in your brain, and you've interrupted just a moment of presence, a moment of peace. Most of the time, we are completely safe. No matter what's happening in the stock market, no matter what's happening with a deadline or, in politics, in this moment, most of us are completely safe, but we're not aware of it physically.
If you enjoyed the clip from the podcast, make sure to check out the next video up here, or head over to watch the full episode down here. And before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Come on. Yeah, thanks for watching.